Hello everyone, welcome back to Witches the Moon Season 12. I am Natalie, your Monday host, and this week we are talking about servitors. Now we talked about servitors either last season or the season before, but I'm hoping that we'll take a different approach to it this week. What I wanted to focus my video on is a particular type of servitor magic that I use that was taught to me, well, I had read it in other places, but I attended a workshop with Patty Negri. Some of you may know her from Ghost Adventures. She was here in town doing a workshop, and she provided us with this wonderful little tool to use for a servitor. And so I thought that that's what I would talk about today. This is called dragon magic, and what it is you have a little plastic dragon. It's just a little plastic dragon toy, and you will imbue this toy with your life's breath, and you will bring this toy to life, and it will become a servitor for you. At that point, it's no longer a toy, it's a living creature, and it has to be treated with that kind of respect. So basically, what you're going to do, and you can make a whole army of these little guys if you want, but basically what you're going to do is you're going to speak to the dragon and tell it what its name is, what its purpose is, you know, what you're needing it for, and how he's going to help you. And then you're going to breathe into it 3 times. So you'll and as you breathe into the servitor, you're putting life into that servitor. You're giving it your energy, and it becomes your living servitor. So what I have done with the Dre here, this is Dre. Say hello, Dre. Dre is my buddy, and Dre is my personal assistant. So when I named him, I told him, your purpose is my personal assistant. So what I will do is I'll get up each day and I will tell Dre, hey Dre, today I'm going to need you to bring me some referrals. Hey Dre, today I'm going to need you just to have my back. Hey Dre, today I'm going to need you to see that Harold has a good morning and keep it calm in the house today. That sort of thing. And so I give him something to do each day or every other day or whenever I need him. He is linked to me psychically, and your servitors are linked to you psychically. So they are connected into you and will often act on things that you don't expressly state. And I found that to be the case. Now, what's important about a servitor is that a servitor needs to be fed. Okay? A servitor is a living creature. It needs to be fed. So what I do is I give Dre some water every day. He likes water, and I just put it in a regular little milk cap, and I put it in front of him, and he drinks it. Now, you're going to think, oh, okay, the water disappears because it's evaporating. I'm sure some of it does, but let me tell you a little secret. I have actually done this in front of my husband because he thought this was a crock of crap. I took 2 identical milk caps, and I filled them both with water. I put one in front of Dre, and I put one next to him on the other side, a little ways away. Guess which one's water disappeared first? That's right, Dre's. It sure did. So, you know, you can say, well, he doesn't need it or whatever. However, he's drinking it, he's drinking it. I never see him stick his little face in it. Well, that's not true. One time I came in and he was tipped down into it, which I thought was funny because I wasn't sure if somebody actually put him like that, moved him like that, or what. I used to keep Dre on the back sink in the kitchen because I'm there every morning, so I see him every morning. And then I moved him on top of the coffee pot, and then Harold got mad at him being there, and so I put him on the bookcase over here. Now, here's the catch. When you create your servitor, you need to give your servitor an out, because you don't want this energy just kind of floating around if you don't need it anymore. So what I usually say is, your name is, your purpose is, I breathe you now, here is life, keep me now from pain and strife, you know, you're my whatever, now to be until the time that you are free. So at that point, if I forget to feed him, he becomes null and void. If I'm done with him, I can just throw him in the corner, and he's just a plastic toy. It becomes a plastic toy once again. Now, one thing I will tell you, I do not reuse my dragons or anything that I use for a servitor. I mean, you could use a clip if you wanted for a servitor, but I prefer something that has, like, you know, a little doll or a Barbie or whatever. I do not reuse those for different servitors. So, like, once this servitor is done, I will dispose of this servitor. I don't just toss it in the corner myself. I prefer to bury them, but you can. You can just toss it in the corner, and then it's no longer. You have freed that energy, and it dissipates into the ether, right? The reason that's so important is because when you don't release it, then that energy is still tied to you, and it might continue to do things or become angry that you're not taking care of it, or it will somehow begin to affect you psychically and be a drain on your energy when you don't need it to be. So typically what I will do is I will bury mine. You know, sometimes I bury them in the cemetery, sometimes I bury them on my property. Depends on what their purpose was in life, to be honest with you. So you would dispose of it the same way you would dispose of it as any spell, but remember that this is a living creature. And so in this case, you know, like I said, Dre is sort of an all-purpose guy. You can have more than one. You can have an army of them. You can have an army of little dragons all over your house that each serve a different purpose. You just have to remember to keep them fed. Some of my dragons like alcohol. Some of my dragons like, you know, dried fruit or cereal. So Dre likes water. He's always thirsty. He always wants water. So water is what he gets. So once that spell is released, it's done. It's no longer there. And that's true for any type of servitor that you create. You want to make sure that you give it an out so that when it's no longer needed, that energy dissipates and is gone. So that's very, very, very important. So you don't have that hanging about you, or it doesn't turn into something negative. But that's my take on dragon energy and dragon magic. Like I said, you can use any kind of like little plastic dragon. Here's the funny part about this. When you develop a close relationship with your servitor, you're going to hear your servitor talking to you when you're not even near it. You know, I mean, you could be out somewhere and he'll tell you you need to be home, or the phone's going to ring and you're going to know it and you're going to pick it up. It's just another psychic tool is what it is. So a servitor is just a thought form that you bring to life in some manner or not. Now, I choose to encapsulate mine in a something I can take with me, but you don't have to. Actually, any servitor would be any thought form that you create. You can create one that's strictly in the astral, that does astral work for you or protects you when you're in the astral. It doesn't have to have a physical form. It's just for my purposes with my dragon magic, because I feel dragons are highly intelligent. Personally, it's my personal opinion that dragons were real, that they were dinosaurs that had not dried out yet, or died out. Did I say dried out? Died out yet. Sorry. I think that's where the legend of dragons come from. Now, some of those creatures could have been very intelligent. Do I think they ever breathed fire? No, but think about it. You're up in the morning, you're tromping around in the woods looking for work or food or whatever, and you're foraging, and you see this massive reptile, and he's breathing. And you know how it is in the morning when, you know, your breath is warm and the air is cool and it smokes. I'm sure that's where that got its start. But I do believe that they were real creatures, and I think that they were probably intelligent, very intelligent. We carry that lore of dragon intelligence with us until that has become a thought form of its own. And so you can take that energy and imbue it into something, and because this has the image that we think of as a dragon, that's why that makes that so powerful. But truthfully, you can create thought form servitors that are strictly that, thought forms, and they don't have to have anything. I just find dragons to be something I can relate to. I love mythos. I love fantasy, and they encapsulate all of that for me. So having something that's got my back, you know, to ride a dragon's wing, frankly, would be awesome. So, you know, that is something I carry with me. And sometimes I do take Dre with me physically in places. I'll put him in a little pouch in my purse and take him with me. I try to be respectful and not jostle him around too much, but you don't have to take it with you. You'll find that that energy goes with you wherever you are. When you need it, you'll be there. You'll have a psychic link. So that's actually true for any servitor that you create. So that's my take on dragon magic and servitors for this week. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. And it's been a pleasure. Blessed be.